What is up, good people? It's time for the newest edition of Notes by Notes, episode 6 of season 3, right here on Facebook and YouTube. I have the whole squad with me back in the studio. So great to have AP and K-Dot to my side. Hey. So before we get started today, let me tell you about what we have coming up on the show. I am going to give you my rant in the first 8 minutes. I think this needs to be said because I hear people talking about this and I just want to put my 2 cents in. Also, as a surprise, we are bringing back Go Crazy, Simmer Down with AP and K-Dot. It is going to be fun. And also, we are going to talk about the Red River Showdown that takes place right after this show between Texas and OU. Also, we're going to recap the Thursday night football matchup between the Rams and the Seahawks. And then we're going to get into some conference discussion in the NFL. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at A to Z for Skin and Hair. A to Z for Skin and Hair offers a bevy of hair and skin products that have no preservatives and are made with love. Like their rice water, which is used to promote healthy, strong growth of the hair and prevent dandruff. Their moisturizing hair butter for everyday styling. Their rapid growth, which is a perfect mix of all natural oils. And their gang beard oil, which I use every day, every time before we hop on the airwaves. To contact A to Z Skin and Hair to find out more about their products, give them a call at 469-674-5567. Once again, that's 469-674-5567, and tell them the crew at Notes by Notes sent you. All right, y'all, let's get it popping. Let's go!
You've heard of hot takes, and you're probably tired of hearing the same old talking heads repeating the same stuff over and over again. The time has come for the game to evolve, and just like in sports, there are a select number of individuals who are leading the evolution of change and pushing the game forward. This isn't just a sports podcast. This podcast is about how life, culture, and sports all meet at one intersection. This is the new wave. This is the new sound. This is the evolution. This is Notes by Notes.
All right, folks, welcome into the newest edition of Notes by Notes. I'm Jay Noakes. That's AP. That's K-Dot. And we are back in the place to be. Before we get started, my friends, I missed you guys.
I can't lie. I didn't miss y'all.
You miss Cancun, don't you?
Man.
Take me back.
All the tequila and on the beaches.
Ay.
Glad to be back, though. I missed you guys, fam.
Hey,
Likewise.
we missed AP. K-Dot was here last week. We kind of, like you said, we kind of had like our Cowboys bromance working. But it turns out we were right about a lot of the stuff that took place on Sunday. We knew that Dallas Cowboys were going to handle business on Sunday against the Carolina Panthers. Up next, they have the New York Giants at home at 3:25 on Sunday.
Oh, it's going to be a matchup.
It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be really, really tight. But before we get started with the show, before we get started on those topics, I do want to say this, because speaking of great team, I think we have a great team here implemented at the Notes by Notes studios. I really do appreciate them. But I want to give my definition of being a great team. And in my opinion, people use many definitions to describe what a great team may be. In football, the term great can be used weakly and is used loosely. From week to week, we see so many teams that come in and you get the talking heads or whatever on ESPN and Fox. And they're like, yo, this team is great because they blew out this team. But what we have found out is that over the course of 4 weeks of play in the NFL, that not every great win is equivalent to a team being great. And here's what I describe as, and it's funny, I was actually talking to Amber about this on Monday Night Football was on, and we were watching it. I was like, yo, I got this thing. I don't know why it's in my head, but I got this thing. And a great team, in my opinion, is a team who can create momentum and capitalize off of it efficiently and consistently. Now, why is that so important? Why would that be so important for that to be the formula for you to be a great team? And in my opinion, when teams get opportunities to capitalize or score on the opposite side of the field, that means that they are using up most of their opportunities. Typically that leads to victories, right? And these teams I'm about to list right here, because I'm just looking at their turnover ratio, I think that that's a big aspect of what they have done so far. Of course, at the top of the list, I got the Cowboys. The Cowboys are +7 in turnover ratio, tied for the highest in the league right now. Then you have the Bills, +7 turnover ratio, tied with the Cowboys. Then you have the Cardinals with a +5 turnover ratio. You have the Chargers with a +3 turnover ratio. You have the Rams with a +1 turnover ratio, and you have the Bucks with a +1 turnover ratio. Here's my thing. Those teams right there, that has been the core of discussion. These teams have been the core of discussion so far this season in the NFL when we are talking about contenders. And again, looking at these numbers, I can say that at least 3 of these teams will probably be at the end of the race whenever it's all said and done. 3 of them. I would say 4, right? Because you got to have 2 NFC teams. You got to have 2 AFC teams to make your NFC and AFC championship. But that's what I was thinking about. I was like, yo, everybody's like, oh, man, this team's great, or this team is awesome, or this team is the best team in the league. Well, we really wouldn't know until we get to the end of the race, right? But what we can see through the first 4 weeks is that what's making a difference this season is the great teams that are making a difference this season are the ones who capitalize off of momentum, and then they create opportunities on the opposite side of the field. Turnover ratio is a big stat. It's not like something that you can scoff at. It's something that actually says, yo, if you're good in this category, you could be a Super Bowl type of team. Now, we still got how many weeks left in the NFL season?
Like 12?
13?
13?
12. It's week 5, right? It's week 5?
Yep.
So we got 12 weeks left in the NFL season. Tons of football.
13.
13, that's right.
18, right?
Extra week this year, yeah.
That's
17
right.
17 games.
That's right. So 13 weeks left. That's a lot of football to be played. But also when you're looking and evaluating these teams, don't be so quick to say they're great because you've seen them throw up 36 points on somebody like Denver did to New York. And we see that Denver is not that great. Mm-hmm. Like Carolina did to a few teams. We see that Carolina's not that great. Mm-hmm. Like LA did to like the first 2 teams that they played. We see that LA is not better than Arizona. It's Las Vegas, for instance, puts up a lot of points. We see against the Chargers are not that great. It's a pendulum, man. It swings back and forth, and it can go in any direction at any given time during the NFL season, but I do believe that the turnover ratio is a telling stat, and it could be one of those telling stats that could tell you if this team, if they keep it up at this pace, if they will end up in the Super Bowl. So that's all I got on my rant. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's staying.
You did good. You did good with time left to spare. You got nothing else you want to say?
Lord Jesus, I ain't got nothing else to say. I can't breathe. Oh, man. Yeah, so welcome into the show, people. So happy to have you guys. If you haven't done so far, please hit that subscribe button, like, share, let your friends know about us. We are here to stay. We are on episode 6, and we're looking forward to a lot more episodes. So, real quick, y'all want anything to add? Y'all have anything to add on the topic of discussion of the rant regarding the greatness?
I think you're spot on. I think that greatness is determined in the moment, and it matters in what sustains. Like I can be great in anything in a moment, but the true test is what sustains. And right now, we're seeing that a lot of people or a lot of teams that were hyped up
aren't that great. Kansas City, number 1. I'm talking about Kansas City.
I don't think it's fair, first off, to summarize a team in greatness when you use Oakland. You got to remember, Oakland has beat some good teams.
Vegas, don't forget California.
Oakland's beat some good teams. So, I mean, yeah, they lost to the Chargers, but the Chargers beat the Chiefs, right?
Right.
So, to summarize in 1 week, it's a overreaction, so to speak, right?
Right.
So, consistency, yes, but if you look at consistency, The Raiders still have a winning record. So right now, they've been consistent on the plus-minus of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this pace, their trajectory, they should still make the playoffs.
True.
Right?
True.
So, but, I mean, we only have 4 games to work with, so we do what we can because we're going to be here every week.
Exactly.
So let's go.
We got a lot of time to go in between. And that's why I say, greatness can be determined on a weekly basis.
Right.
But at the same time, take away little bits and pieces of what you see in the greatness too.
Yep.
And say, hey, this is what makes a great football team. And that's a stat that makes a great football team. So are y'all ready for some go crazy simmer down for the first time?
Let's go.
I mean, I thought I was gonna be crumping and stuff. Go crazy.
So, like, simmer down. Do I whisper?
No.
Listen to me, Linda. All right, y'all, here we go. It is time for the first ever edition in season 3, episode 6 of Go Crazy Simmer Down. Here we go. So, for starters here, after losing to the Bengals a week ago, Jags head coach Urban Meyer was seen at his restaurant getting a lap dance shortly after having dinner with his family. Is this actually, I would say, is this savage? No. Are we going crazy or are we simmering down here? AP, you got first.
All right. I'm going to say simmer down.
Oh!
I'm going to say simmer down. I mean, and this is why. First and foremost, I think that when we talk about morality clauses and all that kind of stuff that they got in the NFL and just sports in general, morality and sexuality, a lot of that stuff, I mean, that's their business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if that was his wife standing in front of him, no conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, really, the issue is that it's just some strange. Now, honestly, in my opinion, and I'm a strip club connoisseur, that wasn't a lap dance. She was dancing in front of him.
There was no money, no cash involved.
There was no funds exchanged. There's a lot of things that could have made this the go crazy moment. He did have a grope. I don't know if everybody saw the extended version.
I saw the grope.
There was some gropage.
Yep.
So my biggest concern walking away from that isn't the situation. It's a matter of consent. And if the young lady didn't have any qualms with it, then I personally, let's just simmer down, guys. His wife said, hey, daddy had a night off.
Damn, I like that take. I love that.
I'm right there with you. That's on point. I mean, simmer down. What are we talking about here? Suburban Meyer? Come on. We're going to get upset because, like you said, is it immoral? Absolutely. Do I condone that? No, but is it my business also? No. Right? Now, if we're talking about a crime, if we're talking about something to be charged in a breach of contract, then we're having a conversation. This is a slap in the hand, nothing more. There's no grounds for termination. It's not a Ray Rice situation. It's not, anything that you can be, tied to an actual criminal offense. So, frowned upon? Sure, but he's going to be there on Sunday, coaching just like he was last week. I mean, if Bill O'Brien got to keep his job after what he did at the Houston Texans,
oh my God,
and shook away every bit of talent, and we're talking about this?
Yeah.
Nah. If anybody got groped,
it was the Texans
in a bad way. Bill O'Brien took advantage, didn't ask their permission. There was no consent there.
Oh my God.
He bent that team over and took advantage of them for 2 years, and then he got let go.
Oh my God.
And honestly, Urban's done worse. I don't know if y'all know his track record, but
I know he's done worse.
Urban's known for looking away and letting some things go down.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, honestly,
you know what? I gotta respect y'all's takes here because I'm completely surprised. I'm completely surprised because the reaction on Twitter, I guess, and on social media has been insane. So I gotta agree with you guys here. I'm gonna simmer down because what tripped me out was he actually met with his players to explain what he was doing in that video. Now, NFL players, they call it LA work for a reason, right? We fly out LA work. They know what goes down on the road. This is understood. Now, I'm a grown man, Urban. You don't have to come at me and tell me, that you messed up. Like, that's your business, bro. We trying to win football games, So, in a sense, I have to agree with y'all. Like, I was going to go crazy at first, but I'm simmering down here. I'm simmering down. Look,
thank you, Jay.
Perspective.
Don't fight it.
Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just relax. Relax.
Oh my God.
That's what he said.
Hey, we didn't tell him to simmer down. This is all on his own accord. This is a consensual decision we all agreed upon together.
Yes.
No.
Blink twice, Jay. Blink twice if you're being held captive by your decision.
All right. So up next, so the Cowboys released longtime linebacker Jalen Smith. 5 weeks into the new season, and in a day and a half, he's picked up by the Green Bay Packers. Are we going crazy, or are we simmering down?
Simmer down on the let go. Business is business. This is not the same Cowboy club. This ain't the country club. This ain't Jerry's buddy system that it used to be. People coming to do work, and they making things shake.
Preach.
So if we gotta go, you gotta go. He wasn't fulfilling his terms, and it was cheap. I mean, at this point, it wasn't cheaper to keep him. I mean, he's still making some money. So I mean, he really, in my opinion, came out on top. So I'm going crazy to the fact that, hey, he's straight.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy to me.
Yeah.
If I can get fired today and get a new job tomorrow,
I think we all
still getting paid from the old job. I'm still getting what's that they give you when you get let go?
Severance.
I'm still getting severance, and I'm cutting the check. Hey man, bye. Go crazy, Jalen.
Hey, K-Dot, what you got?
I'm simmered down only because the fine print. At the end of the day, we don't understand these football contracts. There's so many clauses and ins and outs that we don't pick up on. So the first thought was to, go crazy. After doing a little digging, if he gets injured at all this year, guaranteed $9.2 million next year. That's a liability. And looking at the youth we have, these new guys we brought in, we haven't started Jalen. We only started him most recently because we had injuries and we had to. Now we got guys that are injured for limited weeks or out on COVID that will be back. And currently we're 3-1 in a garbage division. We don't need him. We have the depth. I said this last week. There are guys because of our depth that are disposable. And it was the right time and the right move. I mean, it'd be nice to have the depth, but to guarantee and lock in $9.2 million, you can use that elsewhere where we need it more, particularly the secondary.
I agree. I'm actually going to simmer down. I don't know if y'all watch rewatch games. I rewatch a lot of games, and I got to tell you, I've rewatched several Cowboys games for the past 2 years, and Jalen Smith. No, so number one, I'm not going to bash him because he's a professional athlete. He's at the top of the top when it comes to achieving athletic greatness, 100%. But I do have to say, when you take yourself out of plays 70% of the time, you are in the wrong scheme. So, like you said, K-Dot, wasn't a great fit. It's like, we got to let him go.
You know he's taking himself out, right?
Why?
He's running the wrong direction half the time. He's tired. The ball's over here on the left side of the field. He's chasing God knows what.
Oh my God.
He's tired.
Seeing him run is kind of cringeworthy. But to me, he's a good, solid Mike backer. He should be in the middle of the field. He should be calling the defense. Micah Parsons came in, took that responsibility. Also, Keanu Neal has that responsibility partially as well. So, like you guys said, really not a lot of need for Jalen Smith. It is a business, like AP alluded to. That's number one on this whole priority list. It's a business. So if you aren't the right fit, we're going to move on. So this one right here, this is crazy. All right, I know y'all see what's down there. 18 former NBA players were arrested and charged in a $4 million fraud scheme on Thursday, excuse me. Are we going crazy? Or we should be, I don't know what to say.
I'm going nuts, B. I'm going nuts. I learned a long time ago the risk versus the reward. So, I mean, $4 million sounds like a lot, right? You know what I'm saying? When you're us. But when you already got, I literally went through and I was like checking networks. Because I'm like, I need to know, like, was these dudes down bad? You know what I'm saying? What's old buddy? I don't even want to talk about him because honestly, I'd be feeling bad about old buddy from the Mavs.
Delonte
West. I don't even want to talk about him. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, unless you down bad, which these dudes on this list and the wife, because there was a +1 and an assistant coach. Honestly, why? They was getting like hundreds of thousands, you know what I'm saying, back off some like injury stuff. And it just was like, Williams, what? On the same, go crazy because they were not original. Like literally, like y'all got all this money, pay somebody to actually doctor some notes. Why are we still using whiteout and changing the name? Same date, same tooth, same back, same vertebrae. Like there was no creativity here. I mean, honestly, the charges upset me, and that's why I'm going crazy.
Oh my God! Hopefully, well, it seems like a lot of them are one and done players. Like in college, maybe if they would have hung in there 3-4 more years, they would have made.
Some of them had some decent careers. Nobody was like major standouts. You know what I'm saying? The biggest standout for me
was Big Baby for me.
For me, it was Monica ex-husband.
Shannon.
Because it was Monica ex-husband. I'm like, bro didn't get his cut at the divorce. Because Monica's straight right now. She dropping singles with Young Thug and them.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I digress.
Kelly, this is great right here. Go ahead, K-Dot. I love it.
Go crazy, but I'm trying to piece it together. Like you said, the amount of money, 343 million combined they made over their careers. Now we've talked about Bro with the documentary where money goes, things happen, but you're looking at 4 million split amongst 18 people. That's chump change. The only thing that makes sense in my head, Terrence Williams put the whole thing together. It's probably chalked it up to like pyramid schemes, something along those lines, to where you get tied up in different laws and litigations that will never really come to fruition as far as any kind of legal action. Maybe they didn't know the risk versus reward, right? Make a little extra coin, but what's the risk? Right? You jump into something, quick money making an opportunity, think it's foolproof, and then here we are. I mean, white collar crime's a whole different aspect, and it's just like, the fine print, there's so many different loopholes and ins and outs, and they didn't have it figured out right. So, but why?
You played itself.
I mean,
you're still, you have the talent, you have the network of being a player in the NBA. There's got to be different avenues to take. I mean, you're playing China with Jimmer Fredette. I mean, even at 40, you can still ball out, at least make $100K a year.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and not be indicted.
I'm going crazy because the question that continues to go off in my head, just like y'all, is why? Again, all these players that made their living in the NBA, they have been paid lucratively. If you did not hire a financial manager when you were drafted, that's your fault. But don't be running around here like us normal, everyday people. Well, not me. I don't do that. But there be some people out here applying for these PPP loans.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? How you going? Bruh, that's like selling food stamps, dog. That's ratchet. Like, that's kind of wretch. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against people who do it. But I'm sorry. You ain't going to catch your boy doing that. And I swear, if I see an NBA player scalping some food stamps, almost got me there.
That's a half of one.
Almost. I'm talking about faux.
Flipping. He was about to say flipping food stamps.
It's almost soup season. We'll talk about that next month.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm going crazy with this because, again, the question that reigns true right now is why. So I'm just like, why would you do this if you are this big of a entity in yourself? There's no reason to. So here's the last one for Go Crazy Simmer Down. This has been really, really fun. First one with AP and K-Dot. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. This is super dope. As the NBA preseason begins, NBA GMs believe the Brooklyn Nets will win the NBA championship. I see Kelly side-eye over there. He's like, bruh. So, AP, I'm passing it over to K-Dot because K-Dot's chest is burning right now.
They picked Brooklyn. No shit. Who doesn't pick Brooklyn at this point? Even with Kyrie and whatever he's got going on in his head, if he plays half the games or 25%, they're still a favorite on talent and on paper. You can talk to me about LA all you want, but LA, subtract 5 years, you got Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They're a younger team, and youth is going to be a huge factor in the season like it is every year. They have the oldest team in NBA history. So aside from that, we're looking at the Bucks, who had the benefit, nothing away from Giannis and that team, but they played a lot of teams with injuries. So the same as last year, a healthy Nets team is the clear-cut favorite, and it's not even a question.
So we going crazy or simmering down?
Crazy. You see my eyes?
Yeah, I see it.
Sorry.
No question there. I was like, I had to confirm. Kelly, we're going crazy.
Are you shaking? Are you nodding or shaking? You're nodding or shaking.
AP, what you think about this?
I'm in between simmering down and going crazy, honestly. I mean, Kelly honestly made some great points. Realistically, a healthy Nets team can go all the way. I think we talked about this around episode 1, right? As far as like who can really make something shake. And I think that as long as we keep all the key players in there, and honestly, as long as they can function as a unit, because I think that that's what made that organization fall apart last year, to where they really couldn't take that last step. But I'm gonna also simmer down because I just don't want them to win.
Yeah.
So I'm in between.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I don't want them to win, but hey, they could do it.
I'm simmering down. I got to, because number one, the Kyrie thing is an issue for me. I don't know if Kyrie's really going to play this year. James Harden and Kevin Durant really don't mesh that well. I mean, they did previously in OKC, but with this roster, we've seen them play together 7 times, all 3 of them last year. 7 times. That is a super low number. And when you don't have a developed chemistry between your top players and one's missing, you're going to hurt. And you're going to be in for a fight. Now, if Kyrie comes back and he comes back vaccinated, that changes my whole entire idea here. But I don't know, man. I get the age thing, but I do think that experience carries you in the postseason. It can carry you a long way into an NBA championship, i.e. LeBron going to Miami. I think I'm going crazy. Hey, y'all passing notes in class here?
I just wrote this down before the segment. It says, I bet he says LeBron.
No,
I was just waiting for it. Okay.
Well, I said LeBron got.
Yep.
There's the door, and he walked through.
I walk straight through it. As soon as they start passing notes, I say his name. What kind of stuff? All right, y'all. So that concludes this edition of Go Crazy and Simmer Down. Man, what a hell of a time for the first Go Crazy Simmer Down. So
go crazy about go crazy. Let's go.
Go crazy. Go crazy. Oh my gosh, that was good. That was really, really good. So, folks, real quick, again, this show is sponsored by A to Z for skin and hair. Hit them up at 469-674-5567 to learn more about their products, and don't forget to tell them that the crew at Notes by Notes sent you. All right. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show, because this is a great sports weekend. We were talking about the fight, and I should have put this on the outline. We should have did a preview. I'm thinking about adding it and substituting something right now on the fly. I don't even care, because the fight itself is going to be phenomenal. But this is a huge sports weekend, a huge football weekend for anybody who lives in Austin, Texas, and Norman, Oklahoma, because it is time for the Red River Showdown. We got Texas and OU facing off in the Cotton Bowl. Again, Texas currently leads the series. But Oklahoma has gotten the best out of Texas for the past 3 seasons. Last time that Texas won this game was in 2018. So right now the betting line is at 3.5. That's tight. That's tight. That's really tight. Like 3.5. That means that Vegas believes that this game could go any way. So when I look at this game, the biggest thing that I think about when I think about Texas and OU, number one, is Oklahoma. Every single game that they've been in this year has been 1 possession. They have not won a game by more than 2 possessions. So when you look at this Texas team and what they do great is, again, what I talked about in the first segment, in the rant. They create opportunities and their momentum carries them, and they capitalize on it. Well, Oklahoma, not so much. You get them out, you get them off the field and 3 and out. Their defense is hoping and praying that you don't draw up something big and it breaks open the back end of that defense. But this game is going to be one for the ages, in my opinion. And also another thing that sticks out to me is how well the Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma Sooners both convert on 3rd downs, like high efficiency. They are super efficient offenses whenever they get within 3rd and short distance, as well as in the red zone. So what's the heat check right now on this matchup coming up in about 30 minutes?
I think, honestly, it can – I checked the stats. I checked the history. And I think that what's interesting right now is that Texas right now is like literally blowing blowing the roof off in terms of offense. I think they're like literally number one.
Yeah. They're first in scoring offense, I think. Something like that. Yeah.
And definitely killing it in rushing. So on the flip side, their defense, not quite where OU is at. OU is ranked, I want to say, 5th. So when you look at that, you have to really try to balance out who's really going to stand out. You know what I'm saying? Because if they got the best offense, but OU got one of the best defenses, like, it can really go either way. And then right now, OU is on a streak. I think that they're undefeated, all right? I think they're like 5-0 or something.
They're
like that.
undefeated against bad teams.
Against touche. And Texas, honestly, I think they just had their first win over like a ranked team. They just beat TCU.
Yep, TCU was the first ranked win.
They're both going into it on a streak. So honestly, it's going to be a damn good game. It's going to be a damn good game. And probably the best that we've seen in a few years just in the matchup, just because right now they both have some bragging rights that they really want to maintain. And I think that Texas has great opportunity to take it back, like capture the flag.
I love that.
Might be the capture the flag we need.
So, not super worried about OU for the first time in a while. Let me preface by saying, unless we're in the SEC, I don't care that much yet, but I'm going to play along because it feels like Texas and OU are like fighting for mom and dad's attention, mom and dad being the SEC.
Yeah.
We want to go in like on top, like, hey, bust that ass, right? However, Oklahoma, their defense has looked good, but it's smoke and mirrors. Against who? They haven't played a ranked team or a team that's currently ranked, right? So, I mean, the sampling size we have, I'm not afraid of. I mean, you're on neutral ground. I think Texas takes it. I mean, and I think Texas, where they're ranked, is fair. Maybe mid-teens. I don't think that they're underrated. I think OU is overrated.
Yes.
Had the benefit of playing in the Big 12. That is a weak conference while we're dipping out. And this is their first true test. So we'll see. So see what OU's all about.
So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So my question is, with Texas being the leading rushers, and OU allowing the least amount of rushing yards.
Oh.
So, I mean, I'm literally looking at, like, the potential in, like, the stoppability. Now, if they were just, like, throwing it crazy, you know what I'm saying, like, crazy passing game, and, you know what I'm saying, like, OU ain't had nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
But literally what is making Texas win is also keeping OU, like, afloat.
That's true. Let me piggyback off of that because OU's run defense is much better than what it was last year. But the issue is that Texas has not just Bijan Robinson. They have Roschon Johnson, Keelan Robinson, and Jonathan Brooks. They have a four-headed monster in the backfield. So
got options.
And all four of those backs would start
on any other FBS.
No. All the schools that OU has beat, none of those guys starting backs are better than any one of the four we just named. They're on the same team.
Exactly.
Great points, gentlemen.
Depth. And that's what's really going to carry Texas and Steve Sarkisian against OU. Now, I'm kind of like, I feel like it's going to be a shootout. But then, again, I look at how efficient both teams' defenses are on third down and also how efficient they are on offense. It's kind of like it balances itself out. You're like, all right, so Texas has had some stiff competition, all right? Louisiana definitely wasn't, but Arkansas was. Texas dropped 21 points that game, right? Third game of the season, who did they play? They played Rice, right? They had a bounce-back game. They scored 55 points. After that, who did they play? They played Texas Tech. They score over 50 again, 77 points. Thought they were going to score 90. Then they come out last week and struggle and play undisciplined football against TCU. And won. But, again, we talked about momentum, and we talked about creating opportunities. Once you start losing grip on that, it's hard for you to bounce back and to be the team that you were against the Texas Tech. And you're going into the Cotton Bowl. This is the biggest stage. The biggest stage for any kid on any roster at any one of these respective universities. This is the biggest stage. So you have to with all the passion and everything that's going to be in the air, it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think that these two teams are going to be friendly afterwards either. I think it's going to be hell. I think they are going to cause some hell in Dallas.
And to be fair, back to your point about what makes a great team, it's difficult in any level of sport to be consistent and to show up with that tenacity and that fierceness week in, week out and play 100, 110%. So you look at teams like TCU, do you play down to your competition? I think you do. Subconsciously, you think in your head you got the game in the bag. They're going to play up for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They may play down to TCU, but all that saved energy will come back for the Red River Showdown. That's what they all play for.
Yeah. It's the biggest stage is set, and it's coming up here shortly.
It's the big show.
It's the big show. I'll tell them about the big show. My daughter actually watches that show on Netflix with the big show. She loves it. It's actually funny. The old wrestler.
Yeah.
He used to be called the Giant in the WCW.
Yep.
He's called the Big. Well, he got the name from in WWE. He turned into the Big Show, and he's funny. I enjoyed the show. I was watching it like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was doing it, bro. I was like, "Say, fam." All right. So Thursday night football kicked off week 5 of the NFL, and it was one of the games that was pegged that was supposed to be one of the great first games of the season through 5 weeks. And turns out the Seahawks lost the quarterback, Russell Wilson. Kelly, if you could pull the injury for me, specific injury on what happened on Thursday night, I want to know. I know it was the middle finger, but they said it was like a compound something.
No, it was a ruptured tendon.
There you go.
4 to 8 weeks.
4 to 8 weeks. So Russell Wilson will be out for 4 to 8 weeks. That's very bad for the Seattle Seahawks going forward. The Los Angeles Rams pulled out the win with Matthew Stafford throwing a touchdown, also throwing a pick in the first half. Yo, I thought this game was supposed to be a matchup, a future NFC Championship caliber matchup. And it turned out not being that. And what I got from that game is the Seahawks ain't shit without Russell Wilson. I said it. I said it with so much damn conviction, boy. They ain't shit without Russell Wilson. They ain't nothing. They have no identity. It's like when Russell Wilson went down, and I got to give credit to Geno Smith because Geno Smith put some things together, got a touchdown on that drive, but he's not Russell Wilson, and that clearly showed on the screen on Thursday Night Football. So with these two teams, you look at this NFC West, which we'll get to in a moment, but really this whole thing is wide open. There's really no true winner in that division right now, and the team that we thought would be the worst is actually the best in that division, and the team that we thought would actually be the best after they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is actually not that good. It's confusion, man. It's madness. But what can y'all make of that Thursday night football matchup? K-Dot, go ahead.
Zero surprise on my end. I mean, like you said, Russ being out, they're one-dimensional. It's Russell Wilson and a bunch of decent pieces around him. It was enough to carry him and carry that team when they didn't have a strong division around them. So going into the season, I didn't see the same faith as you in that team. Seeing Stafford come to a team that has the 2 best offensive players in football and the most balanced in the Rams, they were a gunslinger away from being where they are. And also adding Hopkins, I think people kind of downplayed how dominant Hopkins still is. So adding him with Kyler Murray, I mean, it's just couldn't be more excited for that team as a whole. But in the division, I think it's Seahawks are going to finish in last at this point. 4 to 8 weeks without Russ. They don't have the Legion of Boom. The thing is, they plug and play so many defensive players over time. But, I mean, their playmakers, Wagner is, in his 30s now. I mean, what do they have really to put money on? Like, where's your confidence in that team? Other than Russell Wilson, why are you confident in the Seahawks?
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be confident whatsoever because Pete Carroll's scheme is
I'm not saying they're a bad team. I'm not discrediting the rest of the players in that team. It takes a team, right? Yeah. But in that division,
they're a bad team.
Stack them up with the other 3 teams and tell me why. Give me one good reason why they're going to win that.
Yeah. No shot. No shot. I love the take. AP, what you got?
I mean, pretty much spot on. Like, I really feel like without Russ, they really don't have much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said at the very beginning, day one, I'm a Russ fan. As far as, like, the Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? Like, they great with Russ. Russ got the golden hand. You know what I'm saying? He know how to put the bread in the basket. Other than that, you know what I'm saying, you have a lot of great players. You have a lot of key people on the team that's just, you know what I'm saying, without leadership. Mm-hmm. And I think that Russ is a clear defined leader on that team. He shows up. I think that I just was listening to something today. I think that he has the most active. He's the most active starts out of any quarterback. Mm-hmm. Any quarterback in the league right now. So I mean, that type of leadership. I mean, it's way more than just on the field, right? And I think that it's just a blow. You know what I'm saying? You take that kind of blow right here. You know what I'm saying? At the turning point of the season. I mean, week 5 from here on out, it's gonna be okay, you suck, and you got a chance,
right?
Because I mean, really, once you go under 8, it's gonna be tough to do anything, impossible darn near. So, yeah, R.I.P. to them Hawks, man.
Oh man, AP said you got to put them on the grill and grill them. Y'all want some chicken?
I ain't never had Seahawk.
I ain't never had Seahawk before. I'm really right. I'm right there with you guys because what I saw last night is the fact that they have traded for so many defensive pieces. You think about Carlos Dunlap. You think about Jamal Adams. You think about Quandre Diggs, who came over in a trade from Detroit about 2-3 years back. Right now, they rank 32nd in total yards given up. And they rank near the bottom for defending the run and also defending the pass. So what did those trades really do? It really didn't give Russell any other options. It didn't make the team better. So at this point, I feel like Russell Wilson is in between a rock and a hard place. Me personally, I don't know if Russell Wilson is there next year. And this injury can be some time for Russell Wilson to really soul search and be like, hey, look, because when you look at Pete Carroll, what has he changed up? Nothing has changed. Everything still looks the same. It's Russell Wilson or we aren't good. And when you have that, so let me put it in context. What if Mike McCarthy was like, no, I don't want to draft wide receivers. I don't want to draft running backs, but I do want to trade our draft picks for safeties and a defensive tackle. And I want to put it all on Dak. You wouldn't get anywhere because Dak can do a lot, but no quarterback can really, truly, for 17 games now, can carry a team. It's just like we saw Russell get hurt. I mean, they were all over him when he got hurt. He literally threw the ball and his hand went straight down to Aaron Donald's helmet. Mm-hmm. That's how the injury happened. So it's like, do we expect Russell Wilson to just carry us, or are we going to actually give him something to work with? DK Metcalf was a nice piece. Tyler Lockett was a nice piece. All quarterbacks need a running game. What the hell are you doing drafting Brashard Penny in the first round of the NFL draft? What the hell are you doing? And then you let Beast Mode walk. You know?
That part.
Chris Carson is injured.
Yep.
No depth at the running back position. What are you doing? You got to have someone to help. And I think Seattle has done Russell Wilson a disservice.
I think it's been going down here for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it. It's not what we were accustomed to when they made it to the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. It's not what we were accustomed to when they made it to the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. It's not what we were accustomed to when they made it to the NFC Championship, I believe, 2 years in a row. None of it is like what it was, and I think that this team has to find its identity again. Their identity cannot just be Russell Wilson. He is older. He's more fragile. You can't put that much pressure on him. You can't. That's just my personal opinion.
And them goodies don't do you no good on the field, man.
Man. You know, Sierra done that. My goodies. Shut up, babe. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear about that. He's going to be locked up listening to all them old albums of Sierra for the next 4 to 8 weeks. So there we go. There you have it. Quick recap over the Thursday night football matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. All right, let's get down to breaking down these conferences, because we talked about the NFC West in the state that one team is in, but let's talk about the other teams above them. You got San Francisco, you got LA, and then you also the LA Rams, and then you also have the Arizona Cardinals. On the other side of the coin, you have the AFC West, which looks just as competitive. You have the Oakland Raiders playing great. You have the Los Angeles Chargers playing great. You have the Kansas City Chiefs playing great. Who am I missing in the West?
Broncos.
Yeah. So in those divisions, who do we really see, truthfully, honestly, coming, and maybe overreaction at this point because it's week 5, right? But who do we see coming out of those respective divisions, the NFC West and the AFC West? We'll start with the NFC West first. We know it's not Seattle.
Nope.
Not gonna happen.
We know it's not Seattle. I would put my money on. I don't trust the Cardinals yet. I don't trust the Cardinals just yet. That's lightning in a bottle right there. I would put my money on. You know who I would put my money on? Put my money on Los Angeles.
Okay, you said Niners. I'm coming across this table.
No.
Is that why you wore red?
Hey, look, man. I feel seen.
For the first time in my life.
For the first time in my life, I feel seen. No, I got the Rams. Number one, I don't think that they're as great as we thought that they were after they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. But I do think that they have all the assets that you need. You have a quarterback, you got a pass rush, you got the best DB in the game. You also have some great safety play. You also have great linebacker play. They attack. They're great at the point of attack on both sides of the football. That's every key ingredient that you need. I just think Matthew Stafford does take them over the top just a little bit. I don't see them as a favorite of winning a Super Bowl just yet, but I will say in this division, for example, let me compare it to this. Remember when the Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers matched up last year, and how Tampa Bay got housed by New Orleans both times in the regular season, and what happened in the playoffs? Tampa Bay came out, and what you say, Kelly? Spank that ass. What you say?
Spank that ass.
Spank that ass. Tampa Bay came out and bang, bang, bang. Toe that ass up, like my mom would say. But they came out and they won when it counted. I think this LA Rams team can do about the same in this division. How does that land for you guys?
What you got, Kelly?
Okay, so I'm with you, Stafford, all the way. Mm-hmm. I said this when the season started. You want to talk about motivation? Dude played Detroit for a decade where talent goes to die.
Okay? He survived.
And he's out. He's out. And he's got the talent around him. This is a team that made a Super Bowl with Jared Goff and without Jalen Ramsey. They've gotten decisively better. And now they have a quarterback that can put the ball where it needs to be with two great route runners in Woods and Kupp. So it's a no-brainer. And they're the most balanced because, again, you look at the Cardinals and their offense is just terrifying. And they did beat the Rams any given Sunday, though, right? Do I think they can beat the Rams twice in a season and again in the playoffs? No. So the Niners, I'm not even going to discuss. I mean, it's
Can we talk about them real quick?
Garoppolo's out too. Garoppolo's going to be out for a bit. So I mean, they're in it, but I mean, for the sake of conversation and to keep this wrapped up a little bit, so we're not on here for 3 hours. I'm just going to go ahead and skip San Fran.
There we go.
And so I mean, sleeper in Arizona. I know they are the only undefeated team left in the league, but I mean, can they put the Rams down 3 times a season? My money says no.
Yeah, my money says no.
I'm not against Murray in the Cards, man. I think that I really think I was a huge fan of him when he got picked.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he's a young gun right now. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot to prove, and he ain't let him down yet.
Nope.
So what I will say is that Murray is stepping up, and he's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He said out of his own mouth, like, this feels normal. You know what I mean? And he's not cocky. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a huge difference when they get the cocky head and they feel like it's over. Like, that's when I get nervous because then they start letting down the guards. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I do feel confident that the Cardinals can sustain. I mean, so far, so good, right?
Yeah.
Like, they put something together that's been successful. They've knocked everybody else out. They're the only team, period, right now that is undefeated. Mm-hmm. That says a lot. I mean, granted, the group.
Yep.
But still, it says a lot, at least for the West. Now, when we go back to the AFC, I'm going to say I'm not gonna give up on the Chiefs.
Man,
I'm not giving up on
I'm
them.
not either. It's too early.
I'm not giving up on
It's
them.
too early.
It's 2-2. Literally, had they not lost that last game,
Yeah.
or was it the last game?
No, they lost. They lost the last game. They started 2-0. They lost the last two.
Yeah. Had they not lost, you know what I'm saying, then they'd be exactly where everybody else is at.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to be right now. So I'm not counting the Chiefs out. I think that, they haven't made a ton of changes. They still have that Super Bowl DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
K-Dot.
Right there with you. They're proven. It's the safe bet because, do we have that much faith in the Raiders?
No.
Ever. Has anyone ever? Jamarcus Russell, people don't forget, you know? You still...
That's terrible.
People don't forget. I'm saying. And, the Chiefs have been proven. They have the pedigree. Mahomes, in his first 4 years, has put together damn near a Hall of Fame career already. Mm-hmm. And look at the way they play a game. How many times do you see them kind of drag their feet, show up, kind of half-ass the first 3 quarters, 4 quarters? We're the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
Kelsey, Reed, just all day, just touchdowns. 14-point deficit wiped away in minutes. They can do the same thing in a whole ass season. They can go in at 500 and then turn it on, win the last 8 straight, and go in and get a first-round bye. So the Chargers, as good as they look, I love that Herbert looks so efficient as a young quarterback. And seeing these young cats, Murray, Herbert, Mahomes, kind of leading this way. Brady, but for the next 10 years, he's going to be playing. So he's going to be playing for like 10 more years. You know that, right?
Yeah,
So let's let it happen.
Yeah.
But Herbert looks efficient, but he's not pushing the ball enough. He's not aggressive. He doesn't scare me on offense
right.
the way that Mahomes scares me.
So y'all going to be surprised here. Y'all going to be completely surprised. I do think that Kansas City, you can't give up on them. You just can't. It's Pat Mahomes.
Where's the but?
But I'm going back to my first segment here. This is what's important. This is what wins. I'm going with the Chargers. Going with the Los Angeles Chargers. You want to know why? They got the pass rush. They got the safety play. They have the linebackers. They have the quarterback. They have the running back. They have the tight end. They have a complete team. Probably one of the best teams that have went toe-to-toe with Kansas City in their most recent run. Like, Justin Herbert is for real. What he did to Dallas, dude, we are 4, maybe 5 drop passes away from losing that game. We are 5 penalties away from losing that game. Mm-hmm. This team, coached by, mind you, a rookie head coach, my guy, golly. I know his name. I had it. I don't have it here. Jesus, James. Anyways, but the rookie head coach, the team is together. Herbert's playing outside of his mind. Keenan Allen, let's not forget, he's one of the top 5 receivers in the game.
Brandon Staley.
Thank you.
Keenan Allen, I'll give you top 10. 5? Hold up.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is top 5 in route running.
Okay.
Keenan Allen is top 5 in route running, and he can create separation. The only issue with Keenan Allen is that he cannot stay healthy. The Chargers are legit, all right? The Chargers are legit, and also, let's not forget to mention my list here. They're +3 in turnover ratio. Mm-hmm. That counts. The Chiefs aren't touching this list. The Raiders aren't touching that list.
How many Hall of Famers are on the Chargers right now?
I would say about, Derwin James for sure.
What?
Yes. If Derwin James, he's going to have a longer career. He's just had injuries. But talent-wise, he's a Hall of Famer.
I got to be honest. I didn't think you were going to answer me. It was rhetorical.
Oh, snap.
So what I was alluding to is great points, and they are the most balanced team. My question is, are they good enough and balanced enough to overcome the talent and the just power and force that Patrick Mahomes is?
Here's my thing. Everybody has an aberration of a season. Everybody. Every champion does. New England did whenever Tom Brady got injured in 2007, 2008, when he went down with a torn ACL. Mm-hmm. Matt Castle led them to 11-5 record. What do you know? Miami Dolphins are better. Miami Dolphins going to the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every team is due a season where they're like, oh, snap. I thought we were this. I thought we were that. Think about the 2014 Baltimore Ravens. They ran the table in 2013, won the Super Bowl, came back. We're 8-8. Yeah. Things can change. Now, don't get me wrong. it could be something like what we saw with the New England Patriots, where they were hot from 2001 to 2003 to 2004 when they won their back-to-back. They went dormant for 10 years. Next thing you know, they're back in Super Bowls. That's the type of dynasty I think that the Kansas City Chiefs have. But everybody has their down year. The Chargers, they have the talent to supersede the Kansas City Chiefs this year. I don't know about next year. Because the thing about first-year head coaches is the book's not out. We don't know about it,
right?
You know? So we don't know about it. You're kind of surprising us here. But when they get more tape, yeah, we can expect an 8-8 season from LA, from the Chargers next year. But this season, I think the Chargers can turn some heads just based on what they're doing. How well they matched up against Kansas City is what drives me crazy. It was just phenomenal. They just shut it down.
Yeah.
They shut it down. So that's where I'm at with that, man. I think the Chargers, and maybe I might be wrong. I have bad takes all the time.
Well, and you say dormant season, and you mentioned Tom Brady's injury. I'll agree. Pat Mahomes tears an ACL. It's a different conversation. But a healthy Pat Mahomes is what I'm banking everything on. Well, obviously, a lot of these conversations are based on, in a perfect world, back to the Nets. If everyone's healthy and shows up to play.
Right. Perfect world, healthy, you know. But the thing is that sometimes you just run into a buzzsaw, man. You run into a buzzsaw as a football team. It happens in football all the time. And I think the Chargers are the buzzsaw of the AFC West. Everybody. The only loss that they have, by the way, sorry about the sound effects. The only loss they have is to an NFC East team. That's the Dallas Cowboys.
So
they haven't lost.
So we are the best team in the AFC West.
Exactly.
Right? Is that how that works?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll take that crown too. All right, y'all. Before we wrap up the show here, we do want to talk about a home division for our good friend AP here because, I mean, I wouldn't be over here, popping my collar and everything because the problem is the Titans are the best team in the AFC South.
Yeah, baby.
That's the good news. They're 2-2. That's great news. The issue is that the rest of the AFC South is below 500.
Hey.
So what's the heat check there, AP? Like, how we feeling about those Titans in the AFC South? Are we winning?
I'm going to say absolutely. I said it day one. I mean, we might not go all the way to the bowl, but we beating this. I mean, honestly, man, I think that the DNA right now is looking good. And at the end of the day, you ain't got to be the greatest.
It's got to be.
Yeah, be pretty damn good. 2-2, I mean, that's a coin flip right there.
Let me find out Tennessee going for AFC South Division banners.
Hey, we'll take a banner. And then we'll take a ring.
Oh, my God, man.
Hey, you already know. I appreciate you for putting this segment in specifically for me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, realistically, I just don't see nobody else in that division stepping up.
Yeah.
Dang sure ain't going to be Herb at the club. We know that. That.
You're right about that. He's stepping.
The Texans is trying to they're going to be over at the Red River Showdown trying to draft. You know what I'm saying? They busy. They not going to do it.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Who else you got? The Colts.
Wentz.
We just going to say that. Just going to leave it there. Yeah. So, I mean, realistically right now, who else can I bet on?
Yeah.
But
you're right.
Bet on home, baby. Hey, Tennessee, how y'all doing, baby? I'm going to take this moment to give my Aunt Shirley a shout out.
Hey, Aunt Shirley, thank you for watching.
Yes, ma'am. I was on vacation, and literally, you owe me 23 cents for that text message, by the way. She texted me and was like, what happened? I watched the show. Are you not there today?
Oh,
and I was like, Auntie, I'm on vacation. She said, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey.
So shout out to her for watching, tuning in, staying faithful, subscribing. And, other than that, shout out to Tennessee as a home.
Thank you, Auntie. We appreciate that.
So let me first say congratulations on playing on a trash division because we got the team that has no name, the Saquon Barkleys, and the Bitch Pigeons, all of which are playing awful. So we're in a good spot, me and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
You got right there with us. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, Derrick Henry and the team you guys have, it's hard to bet against if I had to for the sake of conversation. I'd have to go with the Colts only because they were a playoff team with Phillip Rivers and his 47 children. So he's only playing for a check at that point.
Yeah.
And now they get Carson Wentz, who is proven to be at points.
Yeah, he's good.
Shown signs of MVP potential. But Quentin Nelson being out, having some injuries. That team healthy prior to the season, I picked to, have a 10-11 win season. Doesn't look that way now. But if they're healthy, maybe they make a push. But smart choice, Tennessee. You got to get locked up. So
I appreciate the love, fella.
You know who I'm picking?
Say it, say it, say it, say it. Go crazy.
I'm picking the Titans, man. I don't want to pick him. Shout out to my best friend Alex. What's up, bro? That's my homie who looks like Dave Chappelle, by the way. He hates when people say that. Look like no bull.
now's a bad time to look like Chappelle, though, apparently.
Hey, man, he might get punched. He works at the airport, too. So,
Wear your hat and keep your mask on.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But I do have to say Tennessee. I think that they are the most experienced team. They don't have any new pieces like that. They have Mike Vrabel returning. You got Derrick Henry. You got Ryan Tannehill. The only piece that they're missing right now, and another thing that they're missing, is A.J. Brown and chemistry between Tannehill and Julio Jones. Once that thing gets cooking, it's going to be a totally different ball game.
But at least Julio's getting injured early because no one in their right mind anticipated Julio playing a full 17 games.
Yeah,
it's not his MO.
It's not his DNA.
Go and get hurt now, get it out of the way, and get warmed up for the last quarter of the season.
Yeah, and that's really what Tennessee has proven to be. They've been a great November, December, January team, and that's how they made it to the playoffs. They won all those games in the latter part of the season, beat the Colts and beat, the Texans and beat the Jags, and then they end up being division winners, and that's what separated them. So I expect the same from them this year. It's been a rough start, but I think that they recover really, really nicely.
I mean, I guarantee it's got to hurt like hell to tackle or try to tackle
Derrick Henry.
But also in December, January, I'm out.
Yeah. Bro, I played middle linebacker, and I played, again, y'all, I'm not trying to gas myself up. I was not that great, okay? But I played middle linebacker, and trying to tackle a running back in the winter is no bueno. It's
Big
no bueno.
J.
It's no bueno. It's not
Big
fun.
J.
And it was early winter, by the way. It's not like we went to the state championship and we're playing in December.
And it was Texas winter.
It was Texas winter.
We're talking about Tennessee winter. We're
Yeah.
talking about playing, northern states. I
Yeah.
mean, you look at the rest of that division. Well, now I guess you guys got a cushion in your division, huh?
I mean,
Texas,
Yeah.
Jacksonville,
That's just a medley of division.
Indy's in a dome. So
Yeah.
okay, so in a good spot. I stand corrected.
Tennessee got real seasons. Y'all better watch out.
One of them is bullshit.
Oh, man. Hey, y'all, we want to thank you guys so much for rocking with us on episode 6, season 3 of Notes by Notes. So good to have K. Dot and AP back in the studio. Real quick, before we head out of here, I do want to give a Notes by Notes fantasy football update. We did have some team name changes. I did send those to y'all. And, I think I did pretty good for myself. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, let me read off the current rankings. And I have to say, man, I'm proud of me. Did Snoop Dogg say that? I think me.
I think me for working hard all those years. I think me.
I just want to say I think
And then there was God, and then there was me.
Yeah, and there was me.
My mom, and then there was me.
Oh, man. So we got 12 teams in the Notes by Notes Fantasy Football League. Y'all, my favorite team name is in first. Country Roads, take my homes. 4-0, sitting in first place. Then we got Lamb Chops sitting at 3-1 in second place. In third place, we have Half Chub.
Gets me every time.
Gets every. But Half Chub, 3-1 in third place. And in fourth place, we got Taking Out the Trask at 3-1 at fifth. Hey, you know who's in fifth? Your boy.
Who that is?
You know what irks me?
It's better.
Cricket.
It's way better.
What's the?
No. It is Eagles, but it's fantasy. I'm conflicted. I don't know how to feel about it.
I was like, so you said it's a lot of Pennsylvania all up in my names. Mm-hmm. I was just like, nobody else has good names. I was like, yo, y'all need to change y'all shit. Like, this is whack. Like, Smith, what am I going to do with Smith? Like, really? I can't do nothing. So I'm in 5th place, sitting at 2-2. 2-2.
Not bad, man.
Then Zach, who started on fire, is now in 6th place at 2-2. Jack's genius team at 7th place at 2-2. The Jalen Hurts at 8th place at 2-2. Dak to the future in 9th place at 1-3. Quarter Dak at 1-3. That's my wife. She's actually winning in all the other leagues, so that's okay. The goal is not for us to win the money, all right? I would like to keep the money in my pocket, but I'm trying to bless others. You know what I'm saying? Offering plate. 7 City Hitters is 1-3 in 11th place, and the fantasy football team is in 12th place like they should be.
I mean, for the name alone, you lose points.
You should be done. It should be a wrap.
The lack of effort is reflected in both the record and the name. Lazy ass. I bet they auto-drafted. I'll put money on that.
Oh, bro.
Just double click.
I'm going to go back and look at the draft results because K-Dot might be owed something with that. Real talk.
Do they at least have 2 E's? Is it the?
No, it's literally the fantasy football team.
Is it a bot?
No, it's an actual person.
It's a person.
It's a person.
We appreciate you, by the way, for participating.
We do. But
however, next year,
come with it.
You got to pipe it up.
Yeah. Hey. All right, y'all. So this is the conclusion of Notes by Notes, episode 6. I'm already ready for episode 7. I'm already ready, hyped, and amped for episode 7. Real quick, big time shout out. I want to let you guys know too. It's my wife's birthday.
Hey, Mama Notes.
It's my beautiful brown sugar's birthday, and we could do a cheers just for her. Cheers. Brown sugar. And cheers. So, we're going to celebrate her birthday later on today. We got the UTOU game coming up. Then after that, we got some dinner. After dinner, we're just going to hang out at the house and just enjoy each other's company. And then on Sunday,
you gonna watch the fight?
I am going to watch it. Okay, just sneak that though, man. Like, I already get the UTOU game. Like, I don't want to be in trouble here,
It's not my day.
You gonna have a phone under the table, like, yeah baby, I hear you.
Yeah, happy birthday, baby.
Better be a glass table and just put it on your knee.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you want some cake? Hold on. But, it's going to be a special day. Happy birthday, beautiful. I love you. I can't wait to spend the weekend with you. Thank you so much for your support and always being, I would call her the show wife and show mom here because she takes care of it. Actually, she fed the crew that one time.
Burgers was bomb.
You know what I'm saying? So, big time shout out to my beautiful wife, Amber Renee Noakes. Also, big time shout out to everybody who's out there and who has subscribed. I appreciate these guys' contributions and what they do for our team. I just want you guys to know that. And also, big time shout out to A to Z for skin and hair. To contact A to Z Skin and Hair to find out more, give them a call at 469-674-5567. Until next week, we are out of here, people.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Notes by Noakes. Notes by Noakes is also available on Anchor FM, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify.